what up, weirdos? It's your boy Raindrop, Raindog, Rain Drizzle, and my co-host, co-captain, call, conspirator, Uncle Juju.
What is up, babies?
Welcome back, everybody, to BXTV, aka Back from Hell, your Spotify and YouTube podcast. So make sure if you're here on YouTube, you drop a like, a comment, and a subscribe if you can. It means the world, and it just helps us know you're watching and listening. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate anybody and everybody taps in. You already know. Juju, how are you, my dude?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. No complaints. No
Oh
complaints.
yeah, oh yeah.
Just did a live stream on YouTube. That was our first YouTube live stream. So make sure you check it out. It's Fridays and Saturdays at 12 a.m. if so. Uh, but yeah, man. If you don't know, we put one of these out once a week. It's our little podcast off the air. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to catch us like when it comes out, make sure you just turn your notifications on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Boop.
baby. Boop boop be doop.
Yeah.
We got a little thing that we do on this podcast every week. It's called Comic Book of the Week. And
Yeah.
what we always do is we each pick a comic book and we put it on the chopping block. We rate it from story, from 1 to 10, and art from 1 to 10. Um,
Yep.
so far, it's been kind of a recurrent thing that most of our averages are on like sevens, eights, and nines, like right around there. Very rarely do we come across like anything less than a four, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I'd agree.
yeah. As is tradition, I guess I will go first. My comic book of the week is Star Wars #1. It was done by Sol Saez and Prenado. Um,
Sticking to your roots.
Yeah. Um, Unfortunately, there's not really a cover page that shows you where the. I think it. This is 2019. Okay. Um, we like to have our dates and stuff. You know.
Yeah,
We
let you guys
um
know what's really going on.
off rip. This starts off exactly when Luke gets his hand cut off by the lightsaber in Bespin
Oh,
after
Jesus.
confronting Darth Vader. It is literally right after they pick him up from falling down the fucking thing. And it is classic Star Wars. It is they have a conversation about why they can't go after Han Solo right now. Um there's a debate because Lando Calrissian wants to go and get Boba Fett like right now. Like
Yeah,
go on, and Leia is the one that's like, no, we have to get back to the Rebel fleet, and we have to go back and regroup, and then we can figure out like where Boba. We know Boba Fett's going to Jabba the Hutt to say that, you know.
yeah.
So she commandeers the Millennium Falcon. They go to the fucking Rebel fleet, and there's a whole lot of stuff between Luke and Darth Vader because it's him dealing with all of that, and now he has to like yeah, and it got way more introspective. They talked about why when he tried to reach out to Ben, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Obi-Wan didn't respond, so he had to reach out to Leia. They also kind of kept true to the movie in that like all the events leading up to it coincide with the lore, and for that I give it a solid 10 for storytelling.
All right, hell yeah. Hell
They
yeah.
treated the original film perfectly. The art on this is also a solid 10. Um, the I'll give you an example right now. First panel that you see is the fucking hand, and then the fucking hand falling down the hole. Like, ten,
Okay.
10 out of 10.
All right, hell yeah.
um, I also kind of hope that this series eventually kind of solves them. It solved mysteries between like what happened between 4 and 5. Um, yeah, no, yeah, 5 and 6. Sorry. Um, I kind of hope they address the lightsaber issue because the hand goes with the lightsaber. Um, but you know,
Fuck yeah, dude. So you enjoyed it.
yes, hands out. Solid 10 out of 10 for art and story.
Fuck yeah, dude. You think I'm gonna keep reading it?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Solid.
I like Star Wars when it's in between movies.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. I get what you're putting down. My comic book of the week is a different turn. Mine is Web of Spider-Man, issue 84, The Name of the Rose, part 1.
mm,
Has Kingpin on the front with Spider-Man and a bunch of his little fucking thugs, and then the Rose. I'll get into who the Rose is in a minute because I'm sure Juju doesn't know.
mm,
I Do you know who the Rose is?
not really, no.
Okay, yeah. This is from 1992 of
Ooh.
January. Yeah, this is an older one. This is older than me. It's written by Howard Mackey. The penciler is Alex Saviuk, Saviuk, and the inker is Keith Williams. I want to off rip, shout out fucking Alex. I the penciler Alex Saviuk.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Holy fucking tits, man. I I love the art. Like the very first so basically it's in the middle of the Web of Spider-Man series, but it's the start of a storyline.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Uh it starts out with Kingpin in his he's in his giant Fisk tower, and one of the tower rooms is like a dojo, and he's
Mm-hmm.
sitting there and he's like warming up. He's like in this like sumo wrestler underwear shit. But he's not like fat. He's like jacked kind of. He's just
Yeah.
like a big guy. And his son is there and he's basically like talking to him while he's like training. He's like telling him all this crazy shit like this is why you need to do this, and his son is narrating how he hates his father and how he's tried to take him down as the Rose, and he's it hasn't worked, and now he's working for him, and he's gonna try and do it from the inside. And his dad, like, is while he's training, he's fighting all these dudes with weapons. He's telling him at the end, like Fisk, he's talking about how bad and evil his dad is. Fisk at the end is like, you always kill one of the trainers, so they try to go harder next training session. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? He just like kills one of the training dudes every session. And I'm like, this dude's a madman. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he like for just training purposes, he's okay killing somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude.
but
Dude.
so that whole thing lays the groundwork for like, if you don't understand why he doesn't like his dad, this will give you a little insight on how much of a monster he is.
Yep.
And yeah, dude, it right after that it picks up with Spider-Man like seeing this guy attacking like a kid with a knife. He's like this Jack Diesel like
Yeah.
war vet. Ends up dealing with him, blah blah blah. Goes to his apartment. He's married to Mary Jane at this point. Um, she's like, we got to go to dinner at your aunt's house, see everybody. He goes there. Then they pan to, guess who's in jail? They're waiting for Vault to come pick him up. Demo Goblin.
Oh God.
Yeah, and basically the only panels in the book with Demo Goblin, he's just like, why? Why would you do this to me? I did everything you asked, like all of your tasks. He's like talking to whatever deity or whatever, and he's just like in this prison cell. And you're like, y'all just have a demon in a prison cell. This is
Yeah.
crazy. Like, you know what I mean? But that's sadly, he's on the cover right here. And sadly, like, that's the only thing with him in this book. But it's
Mm.
book 1 of 6. And not to spoil anything, but I'm 100%, like, on what I'm going to talk about. I'm 100% buying the other 5. Like,
Hell yeah.
as long as they're affordable, I'm getting them because I love this story. All of like, the way Spider-Man interacts and talks is just like that Amazing Spider-Man kind of style. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, just typical Peter Parker. Like, he's goofy. Because, like, thing is, they go to dinner at his aunt's house, and Fisk has sent these goons there. Or at least they work for somebody, you know what I'm saying? And he notices, so he gets in a Spider-Man costume, he deals with them, and then it pans to the Rose being like, there's some inner thing going on. Like, the Rose is working with somebody at Fisk Tower, I think, and I'm not sure who. But it ends with basically the Rose being like, we gotta put the Rose is Fisk's son. He's like, he's like, he's like, screw Spider-Man for now, because like all the gang members, somebody framed it to make it look like Peter Parker released a news article about a bunch of like deep mob tie underground city shit. So
Yeah.
there's a hit out on him because it's like the 90s or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
So I mean, they do like a whole little thing like in an alleyway and everything. And so they all want to go after Peter Parker because they think he wrote this article. They don't want Spider-Man. And Rose is like, screw him. He's going to have to deal with those anyway. We need to deal with Fisk. So I'm really hyped to see where it goes. And I'm really hoping I get to see Kingpin like brawl out with somebody. You know what I mean? Watching him train like in the book was cool. Like, you get to see how much of a powerhouse he is in that environment. But overall, I give the writing a 10. And I give the art a 10. I like it. I like it a lot. This was a great first issue. It was a great issue to be like, oh, maybe I am into Web of Spider-Man. I mean, I know I am because I've read plenty of it. But other people who've never read it, but like, you want a familiar character, Kingpin and Spider-Man. You know what I mean? It's not,
Yeah.
and then Demo Goblin ran. The Demo Goblin thing's kind of confusing because he ends up there. Clearly, he was there before this issue, and you don't really know why. But everything else, fucking great. And apparently picks up before, this is before Daredevil 300. So anybody who reads Daredevil, that's where you can read. This is before
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed it though. I think I'm gonna show panels like on
Sure.
on YouTube and all that, like when we talked about it. But I just want to show you what I'm talking about. Like, for instance, like this is just like Fisk training.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't know. It's very 90s.
Yeah, it looks a little almost like Kill Bill-ish.
Yeah, like here's Spider-Man fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It's very much what you see on the cover. This is like one of the more accurate covers from the 90s of a book inside. I really enjoyed it though. I'm definitely gonna read more.
Yeah.
I bought that randomly for like $2 on Whatnot, and it got here today. I forgot I even had it coming, and I was like, oh shit. Well, let me read it. You know, I literally was just sitting at my fucking counter upstairs at the kitchen reading it while my dogs were outside.
Yeah.
Sorry to you. I found out that like anything Kingpin I'm reading, especially in the 90s. And
Okay.
you know, like Daredevil, Spider-Man, doesn't matter which way I get it fed to me. I like him as the villain. And I honestly want to start reading more Daredevil cuz like older Daredevil,
Yeah.
you know, cuz Spider-Man's cool, bro, but like I like Matt Murdock. Like I like who his character is. It's less like crazy superhero powers and more of just like high sense. Like I mean, he does have a
Yeah,
superpower, but like it's he's just more relatable.
yeah. It's it's there's it's a weird trope that happens in storytelling sometimes, like throughout history. You always have a character who is like visually impaired in some way, but is like hypersensitive towards the world around him, like Toph from uh Last Airbender is like that.
Yeah, yeah.
She's completely blind and she's the best earthbender there is, you know?
Well,
Um
I think for me though, it's just like the relatability is like Matt Murdock. He's not he's not this like Peter Parker kind of has it going for him. You,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like his life might be rough and shit, but like he's always smart. Other than a couple alliterations of him, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
most Ben Riley for his act, Scarlet Spider isn't quite a gene.
Ben Riley.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know, dude. That and like Matt Murdock, it's like I don't know, man. He's just like it's more nitty gritty. Peter Parker is like when you're in a good mood. There is dark instances with Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong. Like I've read it, but it's like Matt Murdock could just be talking to the police and it gets very dark because it's like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
And also like Daredevil does a fair bit more like detective work in his line of crime fighting than say like Spider-Man does. You know, like
I feel like every time Peter is doing detective work, it just kind of is like him falling into like a situation, or he
yeah,
see,
that's what I'm saying.
or he
Like,
sees
yeah,
Hobgoblin or Green Goblin like fly across Manhattan real quick, and he's like, "Well, fuck, my Spidey sense.
yeah.
I got a fucking spider boner. I got to run after him now." Like,
Or like, like he happens to be crawling up the wall at the same time that a villain is having an important conversation with their sidekick,
you,
like
or he reads the newspaper and he's like,
yeah.
"Henchmen meet at dock last night." And he's like, "All right, well, henchmen are out in New York near the
New
docks.
York, yeah.
Let me go check this other dock." Like, yeah, no,
Which like
I feel like Matt Murdock. It's more like, "Yo, what is this bullshit that is happening to me?"
yeah,
And let me figure out why. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I feel like that's like part of his whole like lawyer persona type thing. Like he's a lawyer. He's a church
yeah,
guy. Like, cause in the current book, he runs like a church that takes care of young kids.
yeah,
And
because yeah,
but on top of that, he's training these kids, like not to be like superheroes, but he is
yeah,
training them like and stuff. But I don't know. It's just like, yo, Matt Murdock is a human. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Where Spider-Man is like Daredevil is like a superhero, but he's like he's more like
yeah,
in my eyes he's more of a vigilante.
yeah. He's more flesh and blood. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like he takes a hit, he takes a hit. You know?
yeah, yeah. Like I don't know, man. Like there's people like you get what I'm saying with the difference of a vigilante and a superhero though.
Yeah,
Like one
yeah,
is
absolutely.
like he's nitty gritty like doing this shit for the like. I'm not saying Spider-Man doesn't do this shit for his city, but I feel like he almost feels like he has like there's this like have to it where
This innate
Daredevil
power.
yeah where Daredevil is just more like I'm gonna do this shit like
Yeah, and I mean his motivations aside, like his Matt Murdock to me is more interesting as a comic book character than Spider-Man simply simply because his powers are not necessarily extraordinary. It's extraordinary in a very human way. It's also limited. There are limitations, you know?
Oh,
Like,
that and like I don't know, man. His shout out Zendarsky. He's made that man a warrior.
yeah.
Like in current alliterations and stuff. And it's just like you watch it and you're just like, yo, you you get knocked down to fucking zero and then you just fucking bounce back. It's like a Batman story. You know what I mean? I think that's why
Yeah.
he went and did Batman, because he was like, I'm already doing this shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I'm already crushing the fucking heroic bounce back stories as is. Because when you read Zdarsky's Daredevil, in my opinion, it's like watching a good boxing match. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they're both taking, like, the good guy and the bad guy are throwing like you know what I mean? Like they're both taking haymakers and you just can't tell who's going to win. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then like by the knit and grit of his teeth, he just, like, even after he technically loses, he stands up at the count of 9.5 and he just fucking
Yeah.
comes through swinging. And it's like, yo, this is what we need in comic books. Is this fucking, like, and that's why Invincible is so good. That is why Invincible is so good. Not to spoil nothing. So if you guys have not read Invincible and you're only watching the show, stop listening right now and skip like 10 minutes ahead. And Juju, do you care if I talk about this?
I don't care. Go right ahead, man. You
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna sit back and
Okay. So the reason Invincible is so fucking good is because when Mark catches his first legit body, he doesn't realize that he's killing the man. He doesn't know how strong he is.
yeah.
I'm not going to say who it is. You know what I mean? I want that to still be open to end on people who don't know. And it's just like, he's like stuck in this different dimension and he's just like, yo, what did I do? What did I do? I killed a man. Like, and nobody's around to, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like 19, 18,
Yeah.
never, like, he's beat up people pretty bad, but he's never taken a life. And it's just like, you feel it. In that moment, you feel it.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's like, and then everything that happens after that with Mark, you're just like, dude, this man is like, he might be a superhero, but fuck if your life isn't taking a fucking whooping on you, bro. And like your human aspects, you know, like, cause he's half human. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So like, he does get depressed. He does get emotional. He's more vulnerable than a Vulturemite. You know what I mean? A Vulturemite can
Yeah.
deal with heartbreak, but Mark gets a heartbreak. It's kind of more like, oh fuck, like this
Yeah.
actually sucks. Like,
It's it's that whole fucking Mr. Spock thing being devoid of all emotion, but it's like, oh, the emotion I feel the most is love. And it's like you're half human and half Vulcan, dude. You're gonna have issues. Like
yeah, 100%, 100%, dude.
I'm half Italian, half Puerto Rican, and I have a problem reconciling that.
You're a fool, bro. You're a straight up fool.
But that being said, uh so Marvel is rumored to have talked about reviving Iron Man and Black Widow and for a new Avengers movie.
It was confirmed.
Uh
It was confirmed today that Robert Downey Jr. said he will come back.
okay. All right. Breaking news, everybody.
You know what everybody on
Um
Twitter saying? Y'all are, the MCU's finally getting actual comic book treatment.
yes.
Nobody actually dies, yo. Nobody actually dies.
Actually, guys, yeah, nobody stays dead for long in fucking in Marvel. Like DC, they'll go runs without fucking characters, and then like
Well, nah, the Lazarus Pit is
yeah,
DC's fucking.
it's DC's cop out. um,
You don't know who the fuck's gonna take a bath in that son of a bitch. But no, do you think Do you think it'll be a whole new movie bringing them back to life, or do you think it's gonna be like this is what happened? Because I don't really think there's anything to show what happened in between. I don't think they're gonna. I think it's gonna be more like, oh, here's Secret Wars. We're going throughout timelines, and we're gonna pull Robert Downey Jr. and Black Widow from a timeline where they're alive, and bring them to fight on Battle whatever, that Battle Planet or whatever the fuck it's called in the
Yeah.
comics. Because wouldn't that make sense?
Uh, well, yeah, because you have to account for the fact that these guys have aged. So that,
Well,
like, if you're gonna go back, it's gonna look weird. You know?
Well, that I mean, not even that. No, because you've seen what they can do with Samuel L. Jackson. They've made him look younger. Nah, for real. They can do that shit now. I'm not worried about that. I just think they're. I just don't think they're trying to water down what's going on by showing a memory from 10 years ago.
Yeah. Um. So that's
That's
me.
that's
Well,
that's my prediction though. My
yeah.
prediction is they're going to go throughout timelines pulling the best version of each superhero.
Yep.
And the best version of Iron Man and Black Widow is going to be Scarlett Johansson and Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr.'s
And
version,
Junior.
and they're going to be pulled in to go fight on this battle joint to go like save Earth in the timelines. Because I'm pretty sure Secret Wars is supposed to be about uh the TVA timelines like fucking up and like all the evil people taking over and shit.
Yeah.
But that's just
Yeah.
that's just the prediction I think makes the most sense without them getting shit. You know, like
Yeah.
why are you gonna go back 10 years? You know?
And also like undo the last like 8 or 9 Marvel products and retroactively going like, oh, we're gonna do a storyline where we're gonna erase the blip, where it's like we're gonna fucking do something with the timeline or whatever, and they go back and it's like,
Well,
damn, this never
they're
happened.
definitely not doing that because if you watch did you watch the Echo trailer? We talked about it last
No, I
night on
didn't. I
Twitch.
didn't. I
Uh
didn't. And I'm glad
damn.
they're not doing this. By the way, like, I don't want this to
The
happen.
Marvels is, if I'm correct, the Marvels is about what is like what's going on after, like what Thanos put in place after the blip or whatever. Like this is like the newfound, like,
Yeah.
I could be wrong though.
Mm,
I think it's about this chick taking their powers.
yeah. Um.
I don't.
I'm honestly and not really looking forward to the Marvels. It's not one movie I'm running to the cinemas to see.
I'm not, but I think it'll be decent. I think it'll be decent. Samuel L. Jackson's in it. I
Yeah.
know you don't like Brie Larson or whatever her name is.
Honestly, if the movie was good, I could put my personal feelings aside. Um, I feel like I can do that with a lot of actors. Some of them no, but
Yeah, no, that's me with Tom Cruise, dude. You don't see me watching any Tom Cruise movies. People are always like, "Yo, watch this. Tom Cruise is in it." I'm like, "Oh, I'm good, bro." They're like,
you mean
"What?"
he's gonna go through the entire movie never getting a scratch?
I don't know. Is that true?
Yeah, dude. If you look at all the like Mission Impossible movies from like beginning to end, like not one time does he like hit himself going like sufficiently enough to leave a mark or something. Even
What the
though like a
fuck?
normal person would be like crushed by a plane or something, like
No, I didn't. See, I've never watched a Mission Impossible movie. Like, never.
I saw the first one when it came out and they tried to get me to watch MI3 and by the middle of it I was like, I'm done.
I'm done. I don't blame you. He's not my favorite, bro. I'm also not a huge Kevin Bacon fan.
Kevin Bacon has a weird face for me. That's what's off-putting. like,
I'd have to agree, bro. I'd have to fucking agree. It
and
is,
like I saw him in like the first Kevin Bacon movie I ever saw was Tremors.
and
So
that's
from
actually a
that,
good one though.
yeah,
It's actually
and
a.
from that point on, like that's whatever. Oh, it's Val from Tremors. like,
I don't know, dude. He's a weird
I
guy.
saw Stir of Echoes. That's another good Kevin Bacon movie. That's a good scary movie too.
Is that the one where he's in the woods with the kids?
No, no,
Y-
no.
y-
I know the one you're talking about though.
Yeah,
This one is
that
he
one's
goes to like
fucking weird.
yes. This one is he goes to a party and some chick puts him under hypnosis and like tells him that he should be more open minded. And suddenly, like all this paranormal stuff starts happening to him because, like,
Oh, fuck that
subconsciously,
bitch. Fuck
yeah,
that bitch.
yeah, that one fucked with me for a little bit because mm,
You're like,
it
somebody's about to
messes,
do this to me,
yeah,
bro. Like, fuck nah.
if
Fuck nah.
no,
I'm so good on that, dude. So good on
um,
that.
it's also based off of a Richard Matheson story. Who's the guy who wrote I Am Legend?
They're coming out with a second one.
Yes, and I'm glad.
You are? I'm not. I wish they went with the alternate ending, and that's why they're making a second one. But I don't know. I liked thinking it ended how it ended. But I'm open to see how this goes, you know? Like
Yeah,
in today's world it's probably gonna be fucking crazy looking.
I just I feel like Will Smith needs help. So I will support anything that'll help him get
Yeah,
readjusted.
nah, I mean I definitely think people are gonna show out in the theater for that one.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna be one that's gonna be a packed crowd. Like people have lost faith in a lot of movie productions and stuff like that. And I think I Am Legend's one that they're gonna be like, yep, no, we're all going. Like everybody's gonna be like, I need to see this.
everybody's going.
I
Yeah,
definitely want to see that in theaters. Like that sounds like something that would just look fucking gnarly in person in 2023, 24, whenever
yeah,
it comes out.
dude. Like when that movie came out, there was a TV show called Life After People on the History Channel that was very much in line with like I Am Legend in that they showed you what like New York City would look like 20 years after people, 40 years, 50, and so the skyscrapers are collapsing and shit. So like I always put those two things in my mind. Um and it will be interesting to see how they deal with that in I Am Legend. Like infrastructure is not made to last.
Yeah, no, I'm curious. Like I said, I think it's gonna be banging because what's that movie where fucking Earth like snows and freezes over and they're in like New York?
Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That movie actually looked pretty nuts for when it came out. So I can only imagine what they do with like New York and shit. Like you're saying, like in.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean, even on The Walking Dead and like Maggie and Negan, they made New York look pretty fucking good. But it's gonna be way longer than that in this post-apocalyptic world at this point.
Or even like The Last of Us did a fantastic job with Boston.
Yeah, I didn't finish that show.
I I did. Um I'm hoping the second season is going to be good. That's all I'll say. Like to me it was neither good nor bad.
All right, all right. I've only heard good things, but I watched the first episode and then
I
I
was
didn't watch it again.
I was entertained, don't get me wrong. I just it did for an HBO show it didn't have a moment that like stuck out.
Damn. All right. Well, that's not what everybody else said, so I like hearing that.
Um I mean like there were moments where in the at least the first episode where it's like, holy shit, this does feel like a fucking video game. Like, especially
Yeah,
where they're driving
yeah,
in the truck
yeah,
and
yeah.
looking around, and it's like, but
Well,
after a
that's
while they
straight
kind
out
of
of the game. That
yeah,
that
after
part,
a while they kind of stopped doing things like that and started going more contemporary, like
yeah.
how
This,
you would film a movie.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get that. Well, I guess I'll have to finish it and give my own
Y-
take.
Yeah.
I will. I remember now. I didn't finish it because I was supposed to watch it with Emma, and we never got around to finishing it. So at some point we will, right?
Yeah. And I mean, um, so have you heard about Blade?
You were talking about it on Wednesday. The dude almost walked off the set or whatever. Or no,
Yeah.
or somebody I was talking to said that.
Yeah, I think saw it first on Reddit, and then I've seen a couple more things about it now, and apparently they're not too happy with the script.
Yeah, I
So
mean that's what they did. If it's anything like Daredevil, they scrapped the 4 episodes they started and were like, no, redo this shit, make it more action packed. Like apparently Blade was like a fourth runner in his own movie, is what it was, or some shit like that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and they were also saying that it was going to be like female led, but I don't know how much of that is culture war nonsense.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
how, how can it's called Blade?
yeah. No,
It's
they.
it's Guillermo busy. Can we call him?
Well, dude, you could just get the dude who did Moon Knight, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And if you're gonna have anybody like co-star in it, get him to pull up in the movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
get Moon Knight to have a little cameo, but don't make him like the star of it. I think Blade should be the forefront of the movie. It's Blade.
Yeah, it's Blade.
Why would
And
you? Like what?
and I, like the thing that bothered me about Morbius is that like he became a vampire because of the experiment. I get that, but he's also in that world the first vampire, which I'm like, no, because you have Dracula and Blade and all of that. How are you? No, no, Jared Leto.
Well, maybe. I mean, yeah, no, I agree. Kind of silly, but I'm guessing like the first one that he knows of. I guess vampires aren't like just walking around New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like again though, there's Blade. Like, how do you
But that's not part of the MCU really, though. You know what I mean? That's not.
yeah, and
That's,
I'm
that's not.
glad
I'm just saying though, like vampires have not been introduced in like
in the MC. Yeah,
yeah. That's what I'm
and
saying.
I'm saying that's one thing that detracted from Morbius from watching it. That was like, but we will not mention that movie anymore.
You're a fool, bro. You're a fucking fool, dude. But I
I
love it
liked
for you.
Underworld. I'm sorry.
Underworld was alright. Underworld was alright. Van Helsing.
Van Helsing was great. I saw it in the movie theater.
That's geek as
Um,
fuck.
I yeah, man. Um, I have it on DVD. My ex girlfriend gave that to me actually for like Halloween one year.
It's awesome you still have it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't get
Um.
rid of it.
Fuck no, I like that movie.
Oh, it's
Um.
good.
I. I. I don't. I don't think that it could have gone past just the first one. Um.
Nah, probably not.
No. And if
It wouldn't have been remembered as it was if it went
yeah.
past the first one.
And to be fair, like if Universal ever decided that they wanted to do like a Van Helsing show, I would be much more interested in a young Van Helsing as opposed to like getting Hugh Jackman all over again. Because like he just kind of shows up and knows how to kill monsters. I like to know how he learned how to kill monsters. You know?
That could be cool. That could be cool. I think it'd be cooler if they did like season 1. This is like him learning. Season 2, here's like
Yeah,
him becoming like Van Helsing, and then season 3, Van Helsing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I think that would be the way to put the show down. But they're
Yeah.
not. They're not gonna listen to me.
And they might, you know, they're starving for creativity.
Hey, give me a check, bro. I'll give you some ideas.
Yeah, man.
I got them all day. Tag me in. Whoever would make that.
If I had to pick a movie studio right now to develop a project with, I think I'd have to pick Universal.
Could be
Um,
you see
be,
speaking of Universal though, not to cut you off, but NECA,
yeah,
the person who makes all those like collectible figures,
yeah.
they're about to put out they already have it out, I think, is a new Universal Monsters line. And
Ooh, yes,
there's a creature from the Black Lagoon, Dracula, Frankenstein, and then all these little additions. So keep an eye out for those.
yes. Um, I'd have to go with Universal because that is the house of horror, in my opinion. Like they're the
Uh,
oldest, they've done it the most. I kind of like their style.
I think A24
Um,
has taken the crown on House of Horror, bro.
oh,
Sorry.
don't get me wrong, but I just as a
You're
fan,
living
I
in the
just
past, bro. You're living
yeah.
in the past. They were.
Oh, yep, dude. They, they were until like the 70s, and then like Jaws happened.
Yeah, you know? So that's all I'm going to say. I'd say A24. I think they'd be the most, like, creative free.
Yeah.
I feel like they'd actually let you do some shit. But I could be wrong. I don't work in showbiz.
And also, like, I would like to take a walk into Amblin and be like, "Yo, all right, I have a couple ideas for some offshoots."
I wouldn't mind being over at DC. I feel like they'd let me come up with a cool animated movie.
Warner Brothers, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I feel like they'd hear me out. I don't know what comic book I'd pick, but I'd pick something good. Something good. Maybe Puzzle Box.
Ooh,
Joker's Puzzle
ooh,
Box.
yeah.
Maybe that. I don't know though. It'd be a hard pick.
I think I would go with if I had yeah, I'd have to go to Warner Brothers and be like, "Hey, let's let's start a Spawn animated series. Come on, let's go." Chop chop.
It wouldn't be Warner Brothers.
Oh, that's right. It would be HBO.
No, it would be. Oh, Todd owns the rights to it. Fucking. I don't. I don't think he would. I mean, he'd probably rather work with HBO again, but I don't think he's.
Yeah,
I don't think he'd work with fucking Warner Brothers. I don't.
yeah.
I mean, maybe he makes all their toy. He makes DC's toys. He makes all the
I
DC
think he
figures.
has a I think he has a good working relationship
Well, he
with them.
does because Jim Lee runs it,
Yeah,
and him and Jim Lee are cool. So, like, Jim Lee did a Batman Spawn variant and shit. So, like, they're obviously cool.
yeah.
And when they were at San Diego Comic Con, they were linked up. Uh, you know it'd be really fucking cool as an animated series or a DC like horror film of some sort. Uh, Etrigan, or how do you say his name? The demon. Etrigan. I think it's Etrigan.
Yeah, Edgerton.
The son of the demon Belial. Belial,
Wow. Yep.
yeah, Belial. He is fucking cool. I think that could be a sick one because he shows up in the Justice League and it's like him and Batman, and it's just such a cool little chemistry they have. But Jack Kirby created him.
Yes.
I think that's,
Yeah.
I think that's fucking sick. And the Demon #1, September 1972, was created by Jack Kirby.
It's also funny how like guys that work at Marvel also work at DC, also worked at Marvel. They like just bounce back and forth.
Oh yeah, nah. Well, I mean, Jim Lee worked at fucking Marvel, Image. He like started Image with
Yeah. He,
Todd, and now he runs DC or whatever.
Stan Lee started at DC,
Well, that's like
or back when it was Action Comics.
yeah. I did see that. Well, that's like, as somebody who follows a lot of artists, it's so hard to follow some of these artists because like people like Greg Capullo, he just like right now he's at Marvel, but before that he was doing Image shit and like all the time.
Yeah.
He's done DC shit. He used to do Marvel shit. Now he's back at Marvel, and apparently he did a Walking Dead cover that I didn't know he did, so I missed out on that
Uh,
because I was like, "What the fuck?" I thought you were at Marvel, but I guess you got signed over to do a Image book
See,
or a Walking Dead cover. But it's fucking nuts, dude. Once you start getting into the artists and shit, you're like, oh man. You start
they're
just you start
they'll
reading
literally, yeah,
you just start reading shit because you're like, oh, this guy drew it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's like it's a safer bet than most people's writing.
Oh yeah. I I mean, bad writing. It's funny how like bad writing can kind of be masked by great art.
Well,
Um,
that's what Todd said in an interview. He said, "I can't sell you a dog shit art book with good writing, but I can sell you a dog shit writing book with good art."
good art,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
and like when you when you find something that like you read it and you're just like holy shit, like the ideas and stuff that they're talking about, the fucking dialogue is fantastic, the characters are well written, you're just like okay, cool, the writing itself could stand alone. But on the other side of that token, there are moments in that comic book where you could literally just cut the frame out, put it on a frame and mount it on your wall,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
hundred
like
percent.
I'm telling you, man, Sandman is 100% like that.
Uh,
Like,
I can recommend a few. It just depends on how you interpret things. Like, you know, like if you really look at the art and really think about like, yeah, this image is hand drawn and then hand inked and colored, like that's when it's like, I don't know. I feel like some of my friends aren't into comics, but like some of my friends truly understand that somebody drew this shit. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So they see something that I show them, they're like, "Holy fuck, that is nuts!" And I'm like, "Right? Like, dude, it's crazy." But
like, um, I think I did for comic book of the week long time ago. I did House of Mystery, and came out in the 70s. It was like your run of the mill anthology horror story kind of beat. The House of Mystery is in Sandman, and it's owned by Kane and his
yeah,
brother
yeah, we
Abel.
talked about that.
And
Yeah,
I was like,
we talked about it live. Yeah,
Gaiman knows his shit with comic books.
we
So I'm like, you
literally,
know what?
we literally had this conversation.
Yeah. Um, I mean, fantastic writer, but he always picks the best artists. Like, and I can't sing the praises enough, so I'll shut up
Hey, I feel you, dude. I feel you. We all have that person we like a lot in comic books. You know what I mean? Like, I totally get it. But with that being said, my dudes, we're at about 50 minutes, so we're gonna wrap it up here. I just want to remind everybody this will come out once a week. Make sure you subscribe, you drop a like, you drop a comment, all that good shit. And if you're on Spotify, just keep following and doing what you're doing, man. And we appreciate all of you. And remember, never offended and always recommended, my dudes. Later.